Going viral is a blessing and a curse.
But it got so big so fast, and I was like, I need to sign a record deal. I need the bag. Like, we were broke college kids. So we signed to LA Reid, and it was an amazing, 5 years of my life. I was just on planes every day.
Took a lot out of you.
Took a lot out of me. And I was like, no, maybe I need to step into my feminine power and say what I want to say away from all this team and all these people. And it was scary.
Yeah.
When you're signed and you're somewhat famous, you don't want to leave the label. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then when I did, a lot of my team was like, we're out. I was like, no, she's not Karmin anymore. She's...
In the music industry, reinvention is often the key to survival. And in a world where artists constantly evolve, few rebrands have captured my attention quite like that of Qveen Herby. Once known as the pop duo Karmin, Qveen Herby is now something entirely different. A self-made artist with a unique sound, a bold visual identity, and an unwavering commitment to authenticity. But how did she go from YouTube cover sensations to crafting her own lane in the music industry? Well, in today's video, we'll explore Qveen Herby's rise to fame as Karmin, the moment she decided to leave that life behind, and how she used her rebrand to step into a role that is more aligned with her true self. So without further ado, let's dive in. Before Qveen Herby, there was Karmin, which was my favorite band or duo when I was in middle school. They basically dominated the internet in 2010 with their viral covers comprised of Amy Heidman and Nick Noonan. Karmin was initially a YouTube sensation, gaining millions of views with Amy's rapid-fire rapping and their unique spin on popular songs. Their breakout moment came when they covered Chris Brown's Look at Me Now, showcasing Amy's uncanny ability to deliver complicated verses with ease, which immediately caught the public's attention. Karmin's viral success quickly led to a record deal with Epic Records, catapulting them into mainstream music. The duo released their debut EP, Hello, which featured catchy radio-friendly tracks like Broken Hearted. They had the image, the talent, and the fan base to match, but beneath the surface, cracks were beginning to show. While Karmin thrived in the public eye, the limitation of being a commercial pop act began to weigh heavily on Amy, who is the creative force behind the duo. Their music was molded to fit the demands of the industry, catchy, upbeat, and easy to market. But behind the scenes, Amy was struggling with the creative restrictions placed on her by record labels, who saw her as a quirky pop star but not much more. Though Karmin enjoyed moderate success on the charts, including appearances on Saturday Night Live and performances on major platforms, something was missing. Amy, who had been trained in jazz and classical music and had a deep love for hip-hop, felt creatively trapped. While she enjoyed the moments in the spotlight, the pressure to conform to the industry's expectations began to overshadow her artistic fulfillment. As Karmin's music began to lose its initial edge and creativity, Amy started to envision a new direction, one that allowed her to fully embrace her love for hip-hop and R&B while also incorporating her unique sense of style. She knew that remaining as Karmin would keep her in the box that the industry had trapped her in, and breaking free would require something drastic. And so the idea of Qveen Herby was born. In 2017, after much deliberation, Amy and Nick made the bold decision to retire Karmin. It wasn't an easy choice. Karmin was the duo's ticket to fame, their claim to relevance in the mainstream music world. But for Amy, the need to express her true self overweighed the risk of starting over.
Qveen, it was terrifying because everyone on my team was like, what? Had spent enough time not being 100% authentic to myself and to my vision. It took me a long time to rid myself of the disease to please. So it was really long overdue for me to call myself queen and to step into this role as a true artist, in my opinion.
This marked the end of Karmin and the birth of Qveen Herby, a persona that would allow Amy to finally step into her full potential, an artist in control of her music, her image, and her career. The shift was more than just a name change, it was a declaration of independence. Amy Heitman was ready to break free from the pop star mold and embrace the persona of Qveen Herby, a fierce, unapologetic artist who would rewrite her own narrative. It was a radical departure from the bubblegum pop sound of Karmin, and the transition caught everyone by surprise. After years of riding the wave of pop stardom, Amy, the face of Karmin, began to feel the weight of the industry expectations. While Karmin's viral success was undeniable, something crucial was missing: creative freedom. The pressure to stick to a formula left little room for experimentation, and the colorful, bubbly image of Karmin began to feel like a box. This feeling of disconnect from her artistry is something many mainstream musicians grapple with. When the industry prioritizes commercial success, the true essence of the artist can get lost. And so, Amy made a bold choice. She stepped away from the Karmin brand that had brought her fame, and she disappeared from the limelight for a while. But this was not a retreat, it was a recalibration. She was building something new, something that felt true to her core. She was no longer the girl from Karmin, she was Qveen Herby. The name Qveen Herby was not just a stage name, it was a declaration. Herby had been Amy's nickname since childhood, and adding Queen was a way to claim her own power, to remind herself and her audience that she was now in charge of her narrative.
How did you come up with that name?
Qveen Herby?
Yes.
So Herby is the mascot of the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Do you know college football?
Yeah.
So my uncle, shout out to Uncle Dave. He played back in the 90s when they were winning all the things. I love him so much. And I would basically sing for my family during halftime, because I also found out it means warrior. And I was like, oh, that's dope. I feel like a little bit of a warrior. I kind of like broke out of this very narrow-minded life and explored who I was. And it was like my agent at the time was like, you need to add another word to it, like queen. And I was like, do you think I'm a queen, sir? Nobody had ever treated me with that much reverence, and I liked it.
Yeah.
So I added queen.
Herby's first single as a solo artist marked this transition with a distinct departure from the bright, polished sounds of Karmin. Instead, it introduced fans to a more sultry and experimental sound, blending hip-hop, R&B, and neo-soul influences. The lyrics spoke of beauty, power, and self-empowerment. She wasn't just singing pop songs anymore, she was rapping, performing, and truly showcasing her versatility as an artist. It was a complete creative rebirth. Furthermore, Qveen Herby's aesthetic was just as important as her music in defining her rebrand. Gone were the sugary pastel visuals that had defined Karmin. In their place were bold, luxurious colors, deep reds, blacks, golds, and a high fashion sense that reflected her new, more mature persona. Her sense of style became an integral part of her artistry, blending music with a visual experience that felt more aligned with who she really was. As Qveen Herby, she was determined to shed the layers of her old persona and connect with her fans in a more authentic way. Her social media presence began to reflect that. No longer was she simply promoting the next single or tour. Instead, Herby used her platform to talk about her personal journey, her battles with self-doubt, and her mission to create art that felt true to her. This authenticity quickly resonated with her fan base. Fans appreciated that Qveen Herby wasn't just another artist trying to stay relevant. She was creating art on her own terms, and they felt like they were on that journey with her. Her lyrics reflected that shift too, with themes of self-empowerment, independence, and embracing one's true self becoming a central message in her music. Herby's subsequent releases, like Mozart, continue to push boundaries. Her skill as a rapper rapper and her musical versatility were front and center, an unexpected but welcome surprise for fans who were used to the pop sounds of Karmin. Her bars were sharp, her delivery was fierce, and the music video that accompanied these songs were nothing short of visually stunning. Moreover, in 2021, Qveen Herby experienced a brief resurgence of viral fame, but this time it wasn't through YouTube or mainstream radio. Instead, it was through TikTok. Her song Sugar Daddy became an unexpected hit on the platform. The track was a perfect fit for TikTok's short viral format, an anthem celebrating confidence and independence. The song quickly became a favorite for users creating dances and lip syncs. This viral moment introduced Qveen Herby to an entirely new audience, young social media fans who may not have been familiar with her Karmin days. The track tapped into the playful, empowering energy that thrives on TikTok, and Qveen Herby's newfound attention on the app reflected the power of social media to bring an artist back into the spotlight, even if only for a brief moment. Herby was quick to embrace the moment, interacting with fans on TikTok and even creating her own content around the Sugar Daddy trend. For her, it wasn't just about the numbers, it was about connecting with a new generation of listeners who resonated with her music. And while the viral nature of TikTok trends often fades as quickly as they rise, Sugar Daddy marked an important moment in her rebranding journey, proving that she still had the power to captivate audiences in the fast-paced world of social media. Her fans, new and old, were quick to notice the shift. Qveen Herby was no longer playing it safe. For some, it was jarring to see the girl from Karmin rap over trap beats, but for many others, it was inspiring. It was proof that an artist could shed their past and embrace something new without losing their essence. Reinvention isn't easy, especially for an artist who had already tasted mainstream success. But Qveen Herby wasn't interested in playing it safe. Her transformation was a deep dive into her own artistic and personal identity. When she re-emerged, she didn't just change her name. She shifted genres, aesthetics, and even the way she presented herself to the world. As part of Karmin, her music was catchy, fun, and mainstream, but it lacked the depth and complexity that she craved. The pressure to conform to industry standards of pop stardom led to a creative disconnect. Herby has spoken candidly about how, despite Karmin's success, she felt unfulfilled creatively. She realized that the version of herself that the world saw as Karmin wasn't the full picture of who she truly was. With her new persona, Qveen Herby embraced a style that was more authentically her. She moved away from the sugar pop sound of Karmin and ventured into a genre fusion of hip-hop, R&B, and neo-soul, adding a layer of lyricism that showed a deeper side of her artistically. Her sound wasn't the only thing that changed. Her visuals became a crucial part of her artistic transformation. With the bold aesthetic of her music videos, Qveen Herby adopted a queen-like persona, someone regal, powerful, and unapologetic. The imagery in her videos blends high fashion with hip-hop culture, creating a stunning contrast that feels grand and accessible. Her stylistic choices are deliberate and reflect the careful crafting of her new identity. Moreover, her wardrobe became an extension of her artistry, with high fashion looks and futuristic styles, from sharp suits to exaggerated silhouettes, often paired with bold makeup and her signature sleek back hair. Her evolution was a statement. She was no longer here to fit into anyone's mold but her own. Another key aspect of her rebrand was how she opened up to fans, creating a more personal and authentic connection. Through her social media presence, she let fans into her world, not just as a performer, but as a woman with passions beyond beyond music. She started sharing beauty tips, behind the scenes insights, and glimpses into her creative process, making her brand multi-dimensional. Herby wasn't just an artist, she was becoming a mogul, building her own lane and taking full control of her brand. The result? A deeply loyal fan base that resonated with Herby's message of self-confidence, independence, and reinvention. Her fans aren't just passive listeners, they're part of a community that embraces individuality and self-expression, just like Qveen Herby. Her album and EP covers reflect this queen persona as well, with Herby front and center in bold poses, often surrounded by opulent futuristic settings. From her EP series to her debut album, A Woman, every release was a carefully curated experience, both visually and sonically, reinforcing her new brand as Qveen Herby. Her live performances also reflected her evolution. While Karmin was high energy and radio friendly, Qveen Herby's performances were more theatrical. Her stage presence exuded confidence, and her focus was no longer on pleasing the masses, but on delivering a powerful, authentic performance that felt true to her core. By taking full creative control of her music, her visuals, and her message, Qveen Herby has established herself as an artist who refuses to compromise. Her rebrand isn't just about changing her name or sound, it's about taking ownership of her identity and creating art that reflects who she really is. When Amy stepped out of Karmin's spotlight, the transition wasn't immediately celebrated by everyone. Karmin had built a reputation on upbeat radio-friendly songs, and the duo had a loyal fan base expecting more of the same. Many wondered why Amy would abandon such a successful formula, but for Qveen Herby, it was never about playing it safe, it was about artistic integrity. At first, the reception was mixed. Some fans of Karmin struggled to adjust to the stark shift in sound and image. They missed the quirky charm and pop-heavy sound that had once made them viral sensations, but others saw the transformation for what it truly was, a bold and necessary step toward authentic self-expression. Herby was determined to break free from the constraints of commercial success and experiment with genres, especially hip-hop, R&B, and jazz influences. Her lyrics became sharper, more introspective, and often carried empowering messages about self-worth, independence, and the complexity of femininity. These themes resonated with a new audience, one that wasn't necessarily looking for the next viral pop hit, but rather something real. Despite the initial skepticism, Qveen Herby started building a new dedicated following. Her lyrics spoke to people who felt out of place, who had been told to fit into neat little boxes by society, and who wanted to challenge those limitations. Herby was not just making music, she was giving voice to a movement. Herby's impact extended beyond the music. Her visuals, often vibrant, powerful, and unapologetically feminine, challenged the traditional notions of beauty and gender roles. She embraced a glamorous yet fierce persona, blending high fashion with hip-hop aesthetics in a way that felt fresh and unique. And slowly but surely, the critics came around. Music publications began praising her versatility and artistic vision. They saw Qveen Herby not just as a former pop star, but as a visionary. While Karmin might have been viewed as flavor of the month pop, Qveen Herby was being recognized as a serious artist with something real to say. Furthermore, Herby's decision to stay independent also played a huge role in her rebranding success. Free from the constraints of major labels, she could release music on her own terms, experiment with sound and visuals, and connect with her fans in a more genuine way. way, leading to a loyal fan base that not only loved her music but admired her courage. The impact of this rebrand goes beyond Qveen Herby herself. Her story serves as inspiration for countless other artists, especially women who feel the pressure to fit into rigid industry molds. In a world where the music industry often prioritizes profits over artistry, Herby's decision to rebrand and fully embrace her individuality sends a powerful message. Success doesn't always have to look like chart-topping hits or viral fame. It can look like self-respect, creative freedom, and staying true to who you are. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Have you heard of Qveen Herby before, or is this your first time hearing about her? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more deep dives into the random subjects that come to my mind. And with that being said, thank you for being here, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you very, very soon.
No, because you are the baddest bitch that I am aware of. And I need you to know. I need you to know that.